I know a lot of you guys want to be super successful entrepreneurs. You might be watching all the different self-improvement YouTubers that you can find, and you're certain that you want to live that lifestyle that you're dreaming of right now. In order to do that, you have to realize that there are certain sacrifices that you need to make in order to get there. It's not something that will happen overnight. It's not one of those things that you can just continuously work hard on as many different areas as you can. It's not like there's a certain set path that you can take in order to get to that dream outcome that you want. However, if you do sacrifice these things that are commonly enjoyed by your peers, people you know, family even, it will allow you to get so much more time back that you can then put towards the activities that will get you to where you want to be in life. The first thing, especially for younger guys, social media, you have to cut it out. You might just have to go cold turkey. It might be difficult for a few days, but eventually you'll get used to living without it. Delete it from your phone. You might even have to set like a lock on it, or take an extra step to prevent you from re-downloading the app if you don't have enough self-control. It's necessary that you understand how much time you're actually putting towards these apps and these platforms that you're not getting such a huge ROI on. It's one thing if you're a creator and you need it for business purposes, but if you're just casually scrolling, commenting on people's posts, liking social media fans, or liking social media influencers that don't even know who you are or don't have your best interest in mind, is this really the best use of your time? Probably not. So what I did and what really helped me was, once I deleted social media, I even turned my phone to black and white, and this made my phone a lot less interesting to look at, and I'd spend less time on my phone, regardless if it was on social media, scrolling through music to find a new song. It's just not as fun to look at when the color is off. The next tip that you're going to have to implement, the next thing that you want to get rid of in your life, is going out late with your friends. I know this is very difficult, especially if it's one of those days where all the guys are hanging out, all your homies are hanging out. But if it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11, 12, 1, 2, we've all been in these situations. You've gone out with your friends and you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to stay out for a little bit. I might have an essay due. I might have something I could be working on. I just want to get a good night rest, but it's also Jimmy's birthday, and I don't want to be that one bad friend that leaves before he gets the cake or before I say goodbye to everybody. And next thing you know, you've been out till 2 or 3 a.m. So by the time you call your Uber and you get back home, it's almost 4 and you're hungry. So now you try to cook up some food. Before you know it, it's like 5 or 6 a.m. and you're going to bed. There's people that are waking up to go to work. There's people that are waking up now to go to the gym, and you're just getting to bed. That's not good for you long term. It's not good for you in terms of competing with the rest of the world. And it's just a bad habit to get into. And it's just so common nowadays that people don't even consider it a bad habit. Ask any college student, what was the longest night out you had? I promise you they'll give you these 5, 6 a.m. days. There might be some kids that are like, there might be some students that even say they do this regularly. They might do one weekend every other week where they're out till like 4 or 5 a.m. and they're pretty proud about it. Don't be this guy. Do not be this guy. That's not where you want to fall. That's not where you want to be in life. That's not where you want to be as a college student. It's a very bad habit. Just cut it out. If you do go out, which I'm not saying you have to completely avoid, but certainly do limit. If you do go out, try to get home by 10. The reason I say this is because if you have 10 p.m. in mind, you're usually going to leave about 15 minutes after from the time that you set in your mind. That's just how a lot of people are. So maybe you leave at 10:15, 10:20. At 10 p.m., you start saying goodbye to everybody. So then that way you're able to exit the venue or exit the event on a good note. Everybody knew that you were there and that you acknowledged them on the way out. So that's a good way to leave the situation and have people have a good remembrance of you. But once you leave 10:20, come back home, maybe it's a 20, 30-minute commute max. So hopefully it's not anything farther than that. because now you get home at 11, you get to unwind, turn off your phone, do your skin routine, whatever you got to do, and then you can simply go to bed around 12 and wake up at 7. You see how much better this timeline is, rather than coming home 11:30, 12, or leaving at 11:30 or 12, getting home at 1 or 2, and then going to bed around 3, and then waking up at 10. Now the day feels super sluggish. That's the biggest thing. When you wake up past around 7:30, yeah, if you get up past like 8, it's not a good day usually. You're usually a lot more sluggish. You have no desire to get out of bed. You're just scrolling on your phone the moment you wake up, and the day just goes by so fast, and you're going to look at the clock and be wondering how it's already 2 p.m. and you have nothing accomplished. So make sure when you do go out, you get home around 11, 12 latest. Have a good night's rest, have an enjoyable time, but don't sacrifice the next day in order to make that day happen, or in order to have fun on that one particular night. Obviously, there are moments in life where this is going to happen. It might be someone's wedding, might be your brother's graduation. Stuff like this, I get it. But on a regular, consistent basis, you cannot be spending super late nights out, especially when you're trying to focus on yourself and build a better life for you in the future. The third thing you have to give up kind of ties into this, kind of ties into the previous fact about going out late. It's consuming large amounts of alcohol and drugs. Anything that's bad for your body, don't put it in. It's not good for you, especially when you're young. You might think you can get away with it, but it will catch up to you over time. Eventually, you will see those guys that are consistently going out, the effect it has on their body. They aren't as agile. They're not able to stay healthy. They don't look as good as a guy that didn't do this stuff to his body, that didn't party super hard and drink excessive amounts of alcohol. This usually is common with guys that are either insecure about their social skills, so they might feel they have to drink crazy amounts to fit in, or to go and speak to certain people. They might have some sort of bad thoughts that are going into their heads, but the moment that they consume large amounts of alcohol, this kind of all goes away. Don't put yourself in this category. If you are going to drink alcohol, drink responsibly. It's very, very important. And I would recommend that you don't exceed any sort of social pressure around you, whether you're in a situation with your friends. Don't drink crazy amounts. Don't, even if they're telling you chug, 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 or they're encouraging, don't do it. It's not worth it. You don't want to be the guy that we've all seen at either parties or at bars that doesn't know how to control himself and is drinking too much and then like passes out or throws up on the table. That's not the situation you want to be in. You should treat your body with a little more respect. You essentially are an athlete. You don't have to be playing a sport professionally or even at the college level to consider yourself an athlete. If you're going to the gym regularly, if you're waking up on time, if you're putting hard hours into the gym, you're basically training like an athlete. So you have to treat your body appropriately and give it the things it needs. Enjoy organic fruits, enjoy organic meats if you consume, enjoy high quality foods. Just make sure you're putting the right things into your body. And this is going to lead into my next point of stop eating super processed foods. I know it's convenient and a lot of guys are super lazy, but learn how to cook 3 to 5 different dishes and kind of just cycle through them throughout the week. Some things that I like to make is ground beef, and I'll make that with a thing of rice, or I could also pair that with like sourdough or even whole grain pasta, stuff like that. It's a lot better for your body. You don't want to be eating foods with a super long ingredient list, especially when you don't know how to pronounce them. It's convenient, it's cheap too, but be cheap in other areas. I think that's a lot of fluff for guys that don't want to spend money on putting food into their body that's good for them. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, okay, but it's worth it. Prioritize putting the best fuel in your body. If your body is essentially like a car, you want to put the best possible fuel in it so it runs for a very, very long time as efficiently as possible. If you put bad fuel in your car, it will break down, it will not run as smoothly, and your body, at all things that you only have one of, you best believe it is important to take care of it. for me, the things that were easier to cut out were the sugary beverages. A lot of you guys are still drinking soda. Drink water only. Drink sparkling water or club soda if you want to still get the buzz, the I don't want to say the texture, but I'll just use texture for lack of better words. But the way the fizziness feels, it's very similar to soda. And if you want some sort of flavor, just squeeze a lemon in there or put a piece of fruit in there and just use that. I don't think it's as addicting as people make it seem. I think it's very easy to just make that transition over, and I recommend you guys do that. Just get sparkling water or flavored sparkling water if you want, and you will be pretty much 90% satisfied compared to just drinking regular soda, which is not good for you at all. If you give up all these things as a guy, at least for right now, for the next, let's say 5 years, you will become the complete package in the future, because you are doing a lot by focusing on getting rid of these things, but there's also other reasons that will kind of compound over time, or there's other factors that will compound over time that will make you even more successful. So I did mention how going out late, it's not good for your sleep schedule, and I definitely highlighted that. But the other area that you will grow in, or the area that you save a lot of money in, is this, because you're not out super late, so you're not going to spend more money on beverages or food. And then that over time is more money you could use to put towards your business, to put towards a future investment. So there's multiple ways that these sacrifices will benefit you. So even if you don't completely agree with just one of the reasons that I mentioned, understand that there are other reasons, or there's other factors that will play a big part into your future by you sacrificing these things.